Alright, today we'll be multiplying polynomials. I will discuss three methods: the full method, distributive method, and the box method. So first we have the full method. Full stands for first, outside, inside, and last. So the first terms in this expression, if I had x plus 9 times x plus 1, the first terms in each binomial would be x and x. So I would simply multiply those, and that would give me x squared, as you see in red on the right. Next, I would do the outside terms, which would be x and positive 1. And x times 1 is just x, as you see on the right in blue. Then I would do the inside terms, so 9 times x, that would give me 9x. And the last terms would be 9 times 1. Now, to simplify this entire expression here, I would combine like terms. So the only like terms I have are x and 9x. Those would be added. So x plus 9x would give me 10x. So this final answer would be x squared plus 10x plus 9. This will be your final simplified answer to multiplying these two binomials. So here's another example. Multiply 3x squared plus 10 times 2x squared minus 8. So remember, first terms here would be 3x squared and 2x squared. That would give me 6x to the fourth. Outside terms would be 3x squared times negative 8. So that would give me negative 24x squared. Inside terms would be 10 and 2x squared. That gives me 20x squared. And then last terms would give me negative 80, because 10 times negative 8. I will combine those like terms. These are the only two like terms here, negative 24x and negative 24x squared and 20x squared. Those would combine to negative 4x squared, giving you your final answer, 6x to the fourth minus 4x squared minus 80. Alright, so let's practice with this one. So my first terms would be negative 2x squared and 2x squared. That would give me negative 4x to the fourth, because remember, when I multiply exponents, I add them. And negative 2 and 2 are coefficients, so they stay multiplied. That's my first. Then outside, or outer, that would give me positive 6x squared y, because I'm multiplying x squared times y. Those are just variables. We write them in alphabetical order. Then I would do my inside terms. So that would give me 8x squared y. Remember, I want to keep that alphabetical, even though this is y times x squared. Commutative property of multiplication means I could rearrange those. Then last, 4y times negative 3y would give me negative 12y to the second power. I'm still going to combine like terms here. These are exactly alike. So negative 4x to the fourth plus 14x squared y minus 12y squared. And I could check this and make sure I have the right answer, and I do. So that is the FOIL method. Next would be the distributive method. It is the same thing as the FOIL method, except for this works if you have more than two terms. Okay, the FOIL method only works for a binomial with two terms times another binomial with two terms. So the distributive method, we will distribute each term to every term in the other factor. Remember, this is multiplication, so this is one factor, this is another factor. So I will begin by distributing 3x to 2x squared. That would give me 6x to the fourth. Then to x, that would give me 3x to the third. Then to negative 1, that would give me negative 3x squared. Next, I would have to distribute the 8 to all three of those, and then finally the 2 to all three of those. Then I would combine all of my like terms to give me my final answer. So this can be a little confusing when you're writing it down. What most people like to do, let me go back to this 8x. So when I distribute negative 8x to this first term, which is 2x to the squared, I'm going to get x to the third there. I'm going to get negative 16x to the third. If I line it up right below my other x to the third, it makes it easier when I combine like terms. Okay, it's kind of like addition or multiplication where we're shifting it over to line them up. Then I would have negative 8x times x. That would give me negative 8x squared. See how they're still lined up? Then when I multiply 8x times negative 1, it would hang out here on its own because there's no x term there. There's no term with a degree of 0. Degree of 1. Then when I do this 2, I'm going to shift it over again. 2 times 2x squared is 4x. I did something wrong. Hold on. There we go. 2 times 2x squared, oh no, that was right, is 4x squared. 2 times x is plus 2x. And then 2 times negative 1 is minus 2. So when I go to combine like terms, I will combine them straight down like addition. 6x to the 4th. This would give me negative 13x to the 3rd. Next, this will give me negative 7x squared. This will give me negative 6x. And then minus 2. Oh, I made a mistake here. I found it. I'm sorry. When I multiply negative 8x times negative 1, that should have been positive 8x. And that would give me positive 10x. That's why I have the answers down here. Good thing. So this would be positive 10x minus 2. And then I could just add them straight down. Okay, that's what they've also done here. And then this final solution would be 8x to the 3rd plus 2x squared minus 39x plus 30. So you could shift them over when you distribute. I'll work an example now. So I'm going to distribute these. So this would give me negative x squared times 2x squared would be negative 2x to the 4th. Distribute it again. That would give me positive 5x squared y. I'm done distributing the negative x squared. So I'm going to switch colors. And I'm going to distribute the 3y. So 3y times 2x squared gives me 6x squared y. We like it alphabetical. And then negative 15y squared. These two would combine. Negative 2x to the 4th plus 11x squared y minus 15y squared would be my final answer. And that is correct. All right, next is the box method. Okay, this is also called the Punnett square method from science. So if I were multiplying these two, I would need to draw a box using the terms for your dimensions. So this would be a 2 by 2 box because I have 2 terms here and 2 terms here. So my box would just be 2 by 2. Excuse my box drawing. Write one term on top and the other term on the side. So the term on top would be 6x plus 5 and 2x minus 7. If you notice, I put the negative 7 by itself. Okay, the negative does not belong to the 2x, it belongs to the 7. Multiply each column and row. So in this first one, I'm multiplying 6x and 2x. That gives me 12x squared. And this next top right one, I'm multiplying 5 and 2x. That gives me 10x. Bottom left, that would give me negative 42x. Then bottom right, negative 7 times 5 is negative 35. Combine like terms if needed. So my only like terms here are negative 42x and 10x. That gives me 12x squared minus 32x minus 35. This should say 35. Just a typo. And that would be your simplified answer here for this expression. Here's another example if you need it, just to help you kind of look at it there. That is, let me move this out of the way. X minus 5 times 3x minus 9. They line them up. Same thing, they put the negative with that constant there. Multiply each column and row, combine the like terms, giving you your final answer. So here's an example, the box method. This is a 2 by 2 box. So I'm going to put my top term on the top, my first term on the top, so that would be negative 5x squared plus 3y. My next term along the side, 2x squared minus 8y. Multiply each column and row. This gives me negative 10x to the 4th, 6 x squared y, because we like it alphabetical. Positive 40 x squared y, keep it alphabetical. And then negative 24 y squared. Combine like terms if I have any. Sometimes you won't, but typically they will be diagonal from each other. That gives me negative 10 x to the fourth plus 46 x squared y minus 24 y squared. That would be the final answer here, using the box method. One more box method. If you notice here, I have a trinomial times a trinomial. So my box dimensions will be 3 by 3. 3 columns and 3 rows. So it can get pretty complicated. Line this up along the top, 3x squared plus 4x plus 2. This goes along the side, 2x squared. I'm going to make sure I keep that negative with the 8. Negative 8x, and make sure I keep this negative with the 3. Now I'm going to fill in my boxes. 2x squared times negative 3x squared is negative, oh no, you can't see that, is negative 6x to the fourth. And you can multiply it however you want. I'm going to go straight across. This would be 8x to the third, 4x squared. I'm going to keep multiplying. 24x to the third minus 32x squared minus 16x. 9x squared negative 12x minus 6. Combine any like terms. Well, I see these both have x to the third. So that would give me negative 6x to the fourth. I have that. 24, let me make sure this is right, plus 8x. So this should be 32x to the third. All three of these combine, giving me, I don't know what was going on here. Let's see, 13, negative 29x squared minus 28x minus 6. I must have changed some numbers before I typed my answer there. And that would be my final answer. I'm going to drop this negative 6x to the fourth down. So just be careful. As you can see, it's very easy to make simple mistakes. I probably just copied a number down when I multiplied them. And that's it for practicing. If you need more resources, you can look online. There are plenty of them online on multiplying polynomials.